Welcome back, my bonus babies. Have you guys worried up yet? Of course not. That's why you're here. But don't worry, because neither have I. In this episode, guys, we get to meet the most iconic character, okay? Now, I am not talking about Robyn's herpes, although they are back with a bang. Anyway, this is season 2, episode 9, No Place for Home. So we open up on the infamous red velvet sofa, and unemployed Robyn has a mouth full of herpes. Anyway, Christine is telling us, okay, that she doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to leave her home. She doesn't want to leave the community, and that Vegas is going to tear the family apart. Now, we know, of course, that Christine was actually right, but oh, I know that Christine is not in a great place here, okay? I do know that. We also know that she's just had a baby. But what are we doing with this top? Like, what's going on here? Like, it's canary yellow. I don't understand it. Like, she's gone on TV like this, okay? There's a lot of people around. She has older kids, but there's also a production team. Could somebody not have said to her, like, this is not a good look. The yellow is not a good look because she actually looks like she looks like a burst mustard sachet. It's all kinds of wrong. And I don't understand why nobody said to her, like, don't wear that. I don't understand it. Anyway, Meri is telling us that she's nervous, okay? And I'm looking at Mary's hair. And I have to say, Meri and Kody, they actually look like brother and sister. But then Robyn says this, right? Robyn says that Kody, Meri, and Robyn, okay, are leaving for Vegas tomorrow because they're looking for homes. Now, I have a question about this. Why are we traveling all the way to Las Vegas to look for homes? Okay, we have the internet. Unlike we have Wi-Fi. Let's do that. Okay. Also, I have a theory. Now, I know I said before, okay, that Meri and Robyn, I believed, had something going on, but now I'm wondering, is it like more of a throuple kind of thing? Okay, I am actually believing that more and more. Anyway, okay, we're in the Lehigh house, and the kids put up signs on the doors, okay, and the signs say be positive. And the reason that they did that is because the adults are being negative, and I just think, aren't these kids, like, aren't they just so great, okay? Now we get the older kids on the sofa, and they're really worried, okay, that they're worried that their dad is going to be in trouble, and I hate that. I really, really hate that they feel like that, okay? And are telling us that they want to remain a family. Because Logan says, like, they're not hurting anyone. And I have to wonder, right? How does Logan feel about all this today? Like, how does he feel about him being put through this? And also, how does he feel about his father today? Because his father lost his mind and never found it again. So I have actually wondered about that, okay? Because Logan is not active on social media, although his wife is, okay? He's not particularly active on social media. So I was just thinking about that. And then Logan is talking about his younger siblings, okay? And the fact that they're trying to be positive. And he says because we have all the little kids, okay? So even here he's known, right? That he's the dad to these kids basically, okay? And as he's saying this, the small kids are playing in the snow. Oh, and we see the Fajita Cantina sign. I love that. I love when we get to see things like that, okay? So the kids are just wellying the shit out of each other, and it was so funny to me because Logan is being like so serious. And then we see Gwen again, like she has no coat on her. And I'm thinking, does Gwendolyn have a coat? Now, I know it's in the snow again, but it's different, okay, because these kids are in different clothes. And then Gwendolyn says it's Savannah's birthday and that and I didn't understand this because I don't think it is Savannah's birthday. But anyway, Gwen is like giving her snow for her birthday, which does seem quite fitting for Gwen. Anyway, we're in the house, okay? And Logan says, I thought this was interesting. Logan says that every Friday that his dad does the dishes. And I'm thinking, why only Friday? And like, who does them the rest of the time? I'm assuming it's Christine that does the dishes the rest of the time, okay? Because we know that Meri kind of keeps her whole part of the house, and we know that Jenelle is not really into like the domestic stuff. So I'm thinking this is this is basement wife Christine's job. And Kody tells Dayton to come and help with the dishes, right? But it's actually Logan who's teaching Dayton like how to load the dishwasher. And I'm thinking, of course it's Logan, okay? Of course it's Logan. He is these kids' father. He has been a father well since birth, basically. Now I wanted to ask a question about this, okay? Because it's Mary's birthday and the other wives are going to throw her a surprise party. Now, I've never had a surprise party, nor do I ever want a surprise party, okay? It's not my kind of thing. I do not want it. I do not like it. How does everybody else feel about like surprise birthday parties? I know some people are into them. I know some people probably aren't that. I would hate that. Okay, I would absolutely and utterly hate it. Like, hence the reason I've never had one. But how do you guys feel about it? Now, I do have to say, okay, can we just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful Janelle looks here? Now, I'm not talking about the clothes there, Rocco, but she just looks stunningly beautiful. I've always thought that Janelle, okay, was incredibly pretty. I think it's her features and also her skin. She has that lovely, lovely skin, okay? And she has like unusual features, but she's just classically beautiful. So I just wanted to give that a mention because she just really is striking. And when I seen her in this moment, I thought, damn, Cody really was punching above his weight with Janelle. So now we see a new friend, and the friend's name is Jen, and it's spelled Jenn. And I thought, wow, isn't that ironic? Anyway, this birthday party is being catered, so like this is quite a big deal. So it's Jen and Corey that are going to do the catering, and it's called Tiny Chef. And I thought, ooh, that's because they're not tiny people, okay? They're actually not tiny people at all. And I thought that's an interesting. It's unfortunate. It is an unfortunate name, but it's also quite interesting. Anyway, we get a Truly spotting again and again. Truly is with Leon, and I love to see that. I love to see that these kids are so close. So we find out, okay, that we're gonna have chicken piccata and asparagus, like for the catered food, okay? So now we're on the sofa, and Christina's telling us that we're having a 70s theme. But, like, we're having a meeting for this party? I thought, really? Like a meeting for a birthday party? Also, we meet Rebecca, and Rebecca is Mary's sister. So Cody says he's driving to Vegas with Meri and Robyn, and I have to say I burst out laughing when I seen this, okay? Because although I don't see right into the front of the car, I believe that it's Meri who's sitting in the front of the car, okay, because of her hair. And I just thought this is so weird. It's so strange. Can you imagine, okay, as an adult, you're just like sitting in the back of the car, not because it's like your sister or your sister-in-law or your bro or whatever, okay? But it's like you're part of this throuple and you're just like sitting in the back of the car. And that just made me laugh. So they're looking for somewhere to live, okay? And I'm thinking, what? Like, why are you not doing this online? I really didn't understand it. And Robin said, in a perfect world, they'd all live together. Now, this is crap and it's a lie because we know that Janelle asked and invited Robin to live in the big house with them, okay? But she wouldn't. She wouldn't do it. So she's out there spending these people's money because she's unemployed. So they're like forking out for the rent on her place. So crap and a lie. Then Cody says that he's looking for a big house, okay? But that they can't find anything bigger than about 5 bedrooms. Well, no shit, okay? That's kind of like normal. Up to 5 bedrooms it would be like considered like pretty average. So I don't know why like I don't know why he's looking for anything bigger, because that's not gonna happen for you. But then he says this, right? Cody says that every wife wants him to say goodnight, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's basically how that works. But I would absolutely and utterly love to see like the real life goodnight in this family. I would love to see it, okay? I really, really would. But anyway, we're seeing Cody saying goodnight to Meri, okay? And then Robin, and I thought, well, that's probably a good idea that he left Robin until last because the owl herpes. So I was happy to see that. And now I'm delighted to say we meet the icon, the legend himself. It's Stepdaddy. Okay, we meet Stepdaddy. And Robin says, okay, that he knows the area because he lived there for a long time. We know, Robin. We know that. We know. And we know that that's why we're moving. But anyway, I want to talk about Stepdaddy, okay? I love this look, by the way. I love it. So we have like a cowboy brown suede waistcoat, but we're keeping things really casual with a pair of trainers. And I thought, perfection. Now I have to be honest, I didn't remember meeting Stepdaddy originally, okay? I didn't remember like when we met him, but I do remember him knuckle deep in the birthing canal, taking pictures while Robin was giving birth to Solomon. And I thought they were such good times, such wholesome family fun. And I'm looking forward to getting there again. I really, really am. Also, I want to keep that tradition alive. So now we meet Mona Ricci, and she's a realtor, okay? So she's saying that there's no polygamous houses, but the property is cheap. So now we're looking for 4 houses, and I'm thinking again, why did we drive here? Anyway, Cody is like rabbiting on about something, okay? something very uninteresting. But I burst out laughing, okay, because we see Mary, and Mary just has her head out of the window in the back of the car, and I don't know why. But I just fell around the place, like looking at that was just so funny to me, right? So Cody is telling us, okay, now apparently this is very important. He wants a house with a swimming pool. So I'm thinking, hang on a second, Cody. We're not looking for houses near like a school, near a church, near a shop. Like it, we're not looking for any of that things. Apparently, like, what is a priority though is a swimming pool. So they're in a cul-de-sac, okay, and the three of them are excited. Now I don't know why, because they can't afford these, okay. But as I was looking at this, I was thinking, oh my goodness, like these are off in Las Vegas, tripling around, and Christina's at home with basically like a newborn baby. And when I just thought about that, I just felt so sad, like for Christine. Anyway, they're saying that they want to be beside each other, okay. But Cody says it doesn't feel very family like with four homes, and I'm thinking, well, obviously. So while the trouble are in Vegas, okay, the family are organising Mary's birthday and they're getting accessories, okay. Now Leon is trying on a wig and deadpan, okay, absolute deadpan. Leon says, "Don't I look like Madison?" Now I have gone back on the scene and I've looked at it like several times and I still, for the life of me, cannot tell if they were like just making a joke or if they were just like being serious. And I hope that they were just making a joke actually, because if not, it wasn't a particularly nice thing to say because like the wig is awful. But anyway, they are buying a lot of stuff, and I'm thinking, who is paying for this? Because we're also looking at four new homes. So I'm thinking this party seems quite excessive, along with the trip to Las Vegas and looking at homes. This is a lot of money. And again, Christine is saying she doesn't want to leave her home. She doesn't want to leave the community, everything she knows. But Cody is basically saying, like, too bad, so sad. Robyn wants her stepdaddy. So we're back in Vegas with the throuple, okay? And Robyn's herpes, and she's excited to have a cul-de-sac, okay? And she says like the kids will be able to do whatever they want. And I thought, well, unless, they want to bowl of cereal, because apparently, that's a meal, not a snack. So don't be asking for any cereal. So we're talking to Mona Riki, okay? And she said that she spoke to a couple of lenders and that financially it's going to be difficult for them. Now, this confused the hell out of me, okay? What does she mean she's talking to a couple of lenders? I would have thought that they're going to a bank and they're, getting a mortgage. Like that's how that works. So my mind was completely and utterly blown. I did not know what this woman was talking about. But then I was thinking, maybe it's different in the United States. Like you just don't go to a bank and say to the bank, like, can I get a mortgage? Like that doesn't happen. You go to the lender, like the person who's selling the house. I was so confused. Anyway, okay, so Mona is telling us that one of the developers has four houses in a subdivision and that he's willing to lease them. Now, this sounds crazy expensive to me, okay? Crazy expensive. But of course, Cody's excited about this waste of money. But the look on Mary's face, okay? Now, I think that deep down she knows. She knows that this is a bad idea. I believe that Mary knows that. So we're back with the rest of the family, still shopping for the birthday, okay? And they're picking out a dress, okay, that Robyn is gonna hate, and I loved that. I did love that. But they pick a dress, right? And it's exactly the same as what Christine is wearing. And like they know it's awful, and I'm thinking, Christine, if you know this is awful, like why are you wearing something that is so similar? Like let Robyn wear the god awful crap. Anyway, we're checking out, and it's almost 200 quid, okay? And Jenelle is thinking that this is expensive. So if this is expensive, okay, oh my goodness, take into consideration the trip to Vegas, okay? Where are they staying while they're in Vegas? And also looking at four new homes. This is absolutely crazy, crazy bad financial choices. Crazy bad. I do have to say, okay, that the Browns' financial decisions, right, actually gives me pretty bad anxiety because I'm thinking, oh my God, it's such a bad idea. Anyway, we're back in Vegas, and I have to ask, where's Stepdaddy? Like, where is he? Like, I want to see him, but anyway, he's not there. But Mona is, okay, and we're at the four houses. And Cody says that he wants to keep the family close, and that's why he's pushing the pool idea. I'm thinking, dude, you're gonna need more than a pool. Like, you're ripping these kids away from their home. You're ripping them away from everything. This is not gonna soften the blow. So as we're looking at these houses, okay, Cody just jumps into someone's property, and I thought, oh, okay, then is this what we're doing? Fine. Well, bring me with you because I want to see what's going on. So we're back with the family and getting ready for the party and seeing some fabulous decor, right? Now I have to say, I love this. I love the decor. I totally respect it. And I was delighted that we got to have a look at it. So we find out that it's Mary's 40th, okay? And we see the food from Tiny Chef. Now, bear in mind, okay, this is like an actual chef, and I have to say, this looks crap. It really does. It looks crap. So they're hanging the disco ball, and Gabriel works out, okay, how to get the lights up on the ceiling. And Christine is telling him that he's the smartest kid in the world. And I have to say, right, I act, I really do. I love the relationship between Christine and the children. Like all of them, they all love this woman, and she loves them. And it's so sweet. It really, really is. So we're back in Vegas now with Mona Riki. And by the way, Mona she is teeny tiny. Like I would be surprised if this woman was like 5 foot tall, like incredibly like small, like tiny, tiny. So Robin is recording like the inside of the house, and isn't that just crazy, right? That the rest of the family are not seeing this. Like they don't know this house. They've never seen it. And it's just like okay to like send them a video and see this house of where they're moving to. It blew my mind, okay? Because it's gonna be their home also. Anyway, Robin is lying, okay? And she says that she's been going back and forth about the idea of moving. Now this is crap and this is a lie because we know that she wants to move to Stepdaddy. But this is very interesting because even she is saying, okay, that Christine doesn't want this. Why is nobody listening to Christine? Like nobody is listening to this woman. Now this is interesting. Cody walks into a room and he says, okay, that he knew that this was going to be his and Christine's bedroom. Now, bear in mind, Christine hasn't even seen it. Like Christine hasn't even seen this room. So I believe that this is a setup, okay? This is a setup because we know Christine is not feeling great. We also know that Christine is very interested in a romantic and intimate relationship, and he's not giving that to her, okay? So he's like setting her up to, because he wants her fully on board for this move. Then Cody said that he wants the kids, okay, to grow up as siblings and not cousins. What a load of crap. What a load of crap, okay? These kids have always been together. They have been raised together. They have always known each other. They've always been together, okay? And you're the one that's separating them, Cody. It's you that's doing this. But anyway, Cody says that the plan is to custom build a big house. This is crap and it's a lie because Robin would never ever allow this to happen. But I wish it did, okay? I wish it. I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see the build of the big house. I would have loved to see everybody living in the big house. That would have just been my dream. So they say that they're going to make an offer, but that they have very little money. But Cody says this, right? Cody says that God is pushing them. Now, isn't that interesting, okay? Isn't it interesting that God chimes in and tells Cody exactly what Robin and Stepdaddy want to hear? And I thought it must be great. It must be absolutely fantastic to have a God like that. So now we see Cody with a whiteboard and he's telling us like the square footage. And I'm thinking, did we really need a whiteboard for this? Oh my God. And this was heartbreaking, okay? Because Denny says it's perfect for them to have more kids. But like it's Mary and Robin that are sitting at the table. And obviously, like we know that Mary can't have any more children. And I just thought how insensitive and how cruel. Like what an awful thing to say because he knows that this woman cannot like she can't have children and she wanted to have children. So I just thought that that was just so hurtful and unnecessary. So apparently, right, it's 15 minutes till the party and we see all the kids getting ready and we see all the food out. Also, we get a sighting, okay, of Bald Truly, and she has like her little Mormon clothes on it. And I have to say, this kid is Maggie Simpson in real life. She really, really is. So Christine says that they're going to go into Mary's living room, and I thought, ooh, that's probably a very, very bad idea. Mary does not like people in her part of the house. So everyone is hiding, okay, and waiting to surprise Mary, and the kids are all dressed up. And we see the throuple pulling up, okay, and going into the house. I thought that this was very curious. Mary is carrying a huge blanket with her. Why? Like, where did she even get that from? I was just so confused by it. Anyway, she goes into the house and everyone yells surprise. And I do have to say, right, that Meri does actually look genuinely happy, and I was glad to see that. But I spotted something, okay? Robyn's kids are coming in the door with Meri. Now I have to ask why. Why are we doing this? Because the other women, okay, are supposed to be the mothers. Now we know that the other women are the mothers of all the children. Why did Robyn not leave her kids there? But I have even more questions, okay? Did Robyn bring her kids down to Las Vegas to see Stepdaddy? I wouldn't put it past her. And is that the reason why I didn't get a full look inside that car? Now I am believing that to be true. I am. She brought her kids down to Las Vegas to see Stepdaddy. So not only did the wives not see the houses that they're supposed to be moving into, but her kids got to see them. And I thought, oh, no, 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 I do not approve of this. And then I see something else, okay? There's a man, just like this guy in the background with a beard. And I thought, who is this person? Because we're not introduced to him. And I wanted to be. I like to know who everybody is. But anyway, we see Kody in his party clothes, and then we see Meri in her party clothes, okay? And we see Jenelle and Kody, and they're having a bit of a smooch. And I thought, nice. But I also thought, careful, careful of the old herpes. And I do have to ask, okay, does Rob remind anyone else of Jenelle from Teen Mom? Because when I seen her, okay, I have noticed this before actually, but when I seen her, that's exactly who she reminds me of. She really, really does. But then we find out, okay, that the offer wasn't even accepted on the house. So what an absolute waste of time. What a waste of money. But also, I suppose these three got to be a trouble together. So it wasn't a waste of everything. So we're told, right, that they've nowhere to go, but that they're moving in 7 days. And I thought, oh my God, this is this is absolutely chaotic. This is crazy, okay? But we also find out that the small kids, they don't even know that they're moving. And Cody is being sad, right? So, imagine how your kids feel, Cody. All right? Just imagine how they feel. And also Christine, okay? Oh man, this I have so many issues with this guy. And then again, right, Christine is doing what she's doing and she's smoothing things over. And she says that they'll find the magic in Vegas. And I thought, oh, Christine is so lovely, okay? She is so this guy was such a fool to let these women go. He really was, because Christine is an absolute and utter gem. Now I do have some final thoughts on this episode, okay? First off, let's just say Kody, Robyn and Meri. These three are in a trouble at this stage. And I think when you see it, you can't unsee it, okay? Because it's very, very noticeable. It really, really is. Also, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Stepdaddy. Truly a moment in history. And and I was just so incredibly, incredibly happy to see him. But then I have to ask, what on earth is Kody up to, okay? Because in the midst of all this chaos, the priority in his life is a swimming pool. I thought, oh my goodness. Anyway, my special mention for the most iconic look is, of course, Stepdaddy. The brown waistcoat paired with the trainers, that is working for me. And I thought, yes, fashion king. I love to see it. And I can't wait to see more of you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.